Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're analyzing a match between two legendary veterans of the game. We have Liu Xiaoguang and Yoda Norimoto. Both are nearly 70 years old and were top-tier professionals in their prime. Yoda was famously known as the Tiger for his fierce and aggressive style. Liu Xiaoguang is equally formidable, known for his powerful attacking style and mastery of complex combat. Watching these two masters play today is incredibly exciting, perhaps even more so than watching modern top pros. Why? Because they give us the intense fighting we crave. Modern pros often rely heavily on AI-driven play, focusing on incremental gains and win rate control rather than bold, direct confrontations. Now let's dive into the game. Liu Xiaoguang is playing white, and Yoda Norimoto is playing black. Let's look at the board. The opening starts off quite steady. At this point, white would normally crawl, but Liu Xiaoguang felt that was unfavorable. Why? Because these three stones would be poorly positioned and vulnerable to immediate attack. It felt a bit cramped and small scale. So, instead, he chose to play a firm attachment in the actual game. This is a standard variation. Although white loses a bit of ground here, as an amateur player myself, I might have played the same way. White gains senti and immediately approaches. Notice how the older generation plays with a more spacious, relaxed feel. Modern players might prefer a direct attachment for maximum efficiency, but we can learn a lot from the classic responses of these veterans. However, this move has a drawback. It splits white into two groups. White was already somewhat isolated here, and with black's thickness nearby, this split makes the position feel very constrained. So what should white do? Liu Xiaoguang decides to stabilize this group first with a two-space extension from a two-stone wall, but this leaves the other three stones open to black's attack. At this stage, AI favors black. White's entire group is under pressure, and black has established significant thickness. White only has small territories in the corner and on the side, and still needs to find a way to escape. White has to push here to force black to turn, which allows white to stay connected. But we see that after black's turn, these two stones are damaged, and white's position becomes thin. Black also gains territory by pressing on this side. Next, notice Liu Xiaoguang's composure. Most players would instinctively jump or extend to run away, but that just invites black to chase. If white just runs, black follows smoothly. Black develops a natural rhythm, gaining influence and territory while white gets nothing in return. Black maintains complete control of the tempo. How should we defend? We can learn from Liu Xiaoguang's calm approach. He simply secures the corner. What's the purpose? Let's see the actual game. Black tries to split and attack both sides. Liu Xiaoguang judged the other side to be more important and reinforced it. When black flies down to attack, white already has the corner profit. Since black spent so many moves to capture those stones, white simply sacrifices them and successfully pivots. A simple joski forms in the top left. Black approaches, white responds. The veteran's play is deliberate and steady. For us amateurs, it's better to play moves we understand rather than mimicking complex AI attachments that we can't follow up on. Direct attachments and complex variations can be confusing. Keeping a bit of distance and playing a milder game is a very practical lesson we can learn from them. Black plays a one-point jump to launch a fierce attack, but Liu Xiaoguang senses the situation is tricky. He ignores it for now and probes black's response elsewhere. Here, black makes his first real mistake by crawling to take territory. I think many players would spot the tactical detail here, a wedge followed by an atari. If black can't counter, white can easily break through or capture. Black was so focused on capturing that he missed the vulnerability. This wedge was definitely possible, but for some reason, the veteran chose a simple atari instead. The AI says the game is back to an even 50-50. Black is trying to enclose this area, but it feels forced. It's not a natural result of an attack, but rather a greedy attempt to claim territory, which leaves weaknesses for a future invasion. White secures the corners first. Black plays a knight's move to reduce White's territory. Liu Xiaoguang remains very calm, simply crawling and securing his positions. Black tries to attack these groups again. Liu Xiaoguang ignores him once more, choosing instead to counterattack. He shows great resilience and continues his offensive. Black eventually loses patience and decides he must attack. He plays a few moves as if to say, "Do you really think there's no danger here?" and launches his assault. Liu Xiaoguang handles this brilliantly. He uses a descend to reinforce his group's weaknesses in senti. He continues to crawl. Now Black can't do much because White has already secured 2 eyes at the bottom. The group is alive. Black's attack has failed, so he tries to take away White's base and force him out. White crawls and then pushes. It looks like White is being split into 2, and Black plays a strong move to attack both groups simultaneously. But at this critical moment, I'll give you 5 seconds to think about the next move. White is in a tough spot with 2 groups to look after. What did Liu Xiaoguang do? His strategic vision is truly superior here. In Go, it's not just about reading, it's about the big picture, tenuki and Furikawari. To win, you must be willing to sacrifice small parts to gain a decisive advantage elsewhere. Watch this next move. The entire game shifts in White's favor. He plays a move that threatens Black, and when Black ignores it to attack the living group, White strikes. Why is this move so good? First, it connects his groups. Second, you might think this area is dead for White, and indeed, if he tried to save everything, it would be a disaster. But he plays here to set up a double jump, or bamboo joint shape. You might think White lost a lot of points, but it's actually very little compared to what he gains. Don't forget how much Black had to invest just to capture a few stones. Black spent so many moves to capture just 4 stones. It's a small gain. Liu Xiaoguang's focus was always on the larger Black group. Black should have reinforced his own group earlier instead of chasing a group that was already alive. Black tries to see if he can escape, but even if he captures those stones, it's not enough. White's strategic pivot has already secured a lead. Capturing those few stones won't win the game for Black. Liu Xiaoguang's big-picture thinking is consistent. He focuses on the goal of winning the entire match, not just local skirmishes. Now the finishing blow. This sequence is brilliant. From the knight's move onwards, we can really learn from the experience and vision of these veterans. Black tries to make life, but in such a thick white area, it only allows Liu Xiaoguang to demonstrate his incredible attacking power. Life and death problems are essential to practice. After a few more moves, it's clear Black cannot live. As you can see, there's only one real eye, the rest are false eyes. White plays a fly knight's move and Black is dead. The AI shows a 40-point lead for White. After capturing this group, the rest of the game is straightforward. We can learn so much from Liu Xiaoguang's strategy, the constant pivoting Furikawari. Even when the situation is unfavorable, we must remain calm. The more disadvantaged we are, the calmer we must be. When the opponent attacks, we pivot. We sacrifice and gain elsewhere. This high-level strategic flexibility is a hallmark of the older generation's play. That's all for today's analysis. This was truly a magnificent game. Thank you all for watching.